Okay, you see how green those are out there? It ain't just because they've been taken care of by man in terms of fertilizing them, but God planted them that way. Right? He made them that way. And for what purpose? To be and to get. Okay? That's the first thing you're going to see. You come in that door, the first thing you see is what? New trees, new flowers, blooming in the midst of a heat wave. You know, if you go out there and look at them, they just green and bright. Right there all the time. All right? And we had nothing to do with their survival. Green and pretty as they are out there now, you're going to have to water them from now on. Yeah. But who watered them before y'all bought them? Come on. Okay. Who made the water? I got one better than you. Who put the wet in the water? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, 22, please. For I spake unto the fathers, nor commanded them in the days that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices. Next one, please. But this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your God, and ye shall be my people, and walk ye in all the ways that I have commanded you. That is, that it may be well unto you. Our ancestors. Yeah. God, have you ever wondered about that, even when it comes to spiritual lessons or studying the Bible? They talk about what God has done already. Already. Not only what He has promised, that He promised this to our ancestors, but we are inheritors of that same promise. Okay? That if you follow my commandments and do as I tell you to do, and be obedient and glorify me, then you know, hey, I'll be your God. I'll be your God. And you can be my truth. Do all of the things that preachers love to talk about. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to give you food when you're hungry, water when you're thirsty. I'm going to take care of you. Why? Because I created you. The other problem Jeremiah received from God was that God's people forgot who created them. Okay. And for their purpose. Okay. Remember what we do here, these kinds of things that we talk about, meeting and singing in the choir and still going to school, all of that kind. That's nice for us. For God, He created us. All right. Come on.
I think we're at that point right today.
Okay.
You know, we forget so easily as to how you wake up. Or, I mean, you know, we got this AI now. It speaks for us. It tells. It has no sensitivity, no anything. But we think that the pharmaceutical companies, they're driven and they take care of us. They give the doctors. But how did that all transpire? How did it all transpire?
Who allowed them to be trained in their positions? Only a God can do that. And only the living God can do it. Now that's the other problem that they had. Was that they had a bunch of gods that they were worshiping. Or they had a whole bunch of gods. Just like we do today.
Yes.
And couldn't heal nothing. Couldn't do nothing. You know, they pick up trust. I can worship it if I want to. I can make it my God, but it's just a what? A trust. And when they get too dirty, I go what? Why are you clean it up? What God was saying to Jeremiah is go tell these people, I can wash them. I can create them. Okay? And give them a right spirit. I can do all of those things, but you gotta what? Obey me. And recognize that I am the word God. Come on.
The people had different gods for different reasons.
Yes.
those guys could not do absolutely nothing for you.
Could bring you anywhere or take you out.
Right? Just like you mentioned your truck.
Mm-hmm.
Your truck cannot do anything until you empower it to do it.
Exactly.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
And though we talk about Trump and everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
they cannot do anything, right, of the sort that they're doing.
They don't know that though.
Unless we empower them to.
They don't know that.
When the people said the son brought this crop, although the son did not really bring the crop, but the people gave power to the son and spoke it in such a way that others believed it. Right?
And that's really important because, see, in speaking in such a way that will make up, if this is what I really want to hear, if this is what I really feel down in my soul, of Congress, I can send the army out there to just shoot the preacher in the head with the rubber bullet. Okay? Which makes absolutely no sense. But it's the idea that they are, good morning, brother, that they have empowered themselves, they think, to control God's universe. Okay? And it doesn't matter. All right, come on. That was the last one. Anybody, come on. Here we go. Now, let's see.
One that struck me in this lesson was one is especially relevant today. This message challenges us to examine the foundations of our faith and recognize that genuine worship goes beyond physical location, outward displays. Instead, it calls for a heartfelt and authentic connection with the Creator, emphasizing the importance of spiritual sincerity over mere practices. So it's saying, to me, it said it's not about where you are or outward appearances, it's about your personal relationship with God.
That's the other part that God was saying to Jeremiah that Jeremiah needed to reflect back to his people. Okay. That you are mine. I created you. Right. And therefore I know everything about you. Now here's the other thing, is that God already knew before what he was going to have him, right? And then he pulled him out and he said, hey, this is what I want you to do. I'm going to say, I would if I could, but I got these problems. You know, I can't talk well, and I can't say the things that you want me to say, and all that else. I'm not able to do that. He said, just do it. You ever think about it? That's why we are here. What is our, Reverend used to say it all the time. Why are you, it's your purpose for being here. He opened it, he was a chaplain, he opened every chapter with those words. All right, with those words. But that's what Jeremiah was saying. There is a purpose and a reason for you being here right now. Remember, this is the same God who took you out of what? Incident. This is the same God who kept others from killing you in a war. So he has saved you for a purpose. In fact, he told your mom and your dad, those seeds of your ancestors, told that I would have for you. Okay, anybody, come on.
I have a question for the preacher.
Yeah.
Why do people hate Jews, sir?
Hate Jews?
Yeah.
Jews.
Well, hate them because, first of all, God is not you. And jealousy is about people who want to be right. Be claimed by God as his people. By the fact that God claimed him as people interpret him to be the untouchables. In the sense of no matter what we do to them, they're going to prosper. No matter what we say about them, they're still going to be okay. And so, when the Jews got beside themselves of saying, hey, we protect them no matter what.
He out.
We all right here.
Right.
Okay.
And see, what we claim today, because because I gave my life to Christ. And I'm gonna after. No matter what I say, no matter how I treat you, it's gonna be all right because I belong to God. So we mistakenly use the covering of God, thinking that no matter what we do, because we say, I gave my life to Christ, earth will do but protect me.
And just as there were many gods that they were worshiping, God also sent more than just Jeremiah at one time. Okay? Josiah, for example.
Yeah.
All right. Josiah says, Lord, I recognize that what we're doing in the temple is wrong. And so I'm going to go back and straighten it out. Josiah came in, all right, made a turn, began the tables over and cleaned the church up, took it out, the whole 9 yards, and said, let's go back to the way that we serve the Lord, glorify the Lord and who he is and what he is. All right, that's what they said, let's do.
But I'm still trying to figure out.
Well, remember Jesus said that as they hated me and telling them the truth, confronting them about their hypocrisy, they're going to hate you because you have been assigned to give them the word of truth.
And they could ever hear.
What the truth is.
And people don't want to hear the truth. Now,
No, people don't want to hear the
Jeremiah,
truth.
Josiah.
So that's why anti-Semitism and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm confused. I've been confused. I've been trying to get somebody to explain to me
And the other
why
part,
people hate you so.
the other part that I have a problem with, born and raised as a Catholic, for example, we always lost. Okay? And to many, that is ignoring the fact that what happened after the cross. Okay? But we, as Catholics, we always had Christ was on the staff with the cross around his neck, with just a plain cross. It had the image of Christ. He was hanging there. And so in the Catholic Church and in the Jewish church, that's what they disagree. The Jews say, yeah, he was a great prophet, fine guy, but he was not the Messiah. Okay? And to this day, the same thing. He was a fine guy. He did miracles. As did some others.
Right, he was a prophet. They consider him as a prophet. Yeah, he's I'm a Jew, as a prophet, only as a prophet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
He
because
served 5 different kings. He served 5 different kings. He was there. If you remember the last lesson the other week that we had, and it raised some people's eyebrow about the fact that there was a woman there who was a prophet, who was giving instructions in direction, basically saying that if you want to be saved, this is what you got to do.
Right.
But if you don't want to be saved, this is who you're up against. Okay? And they asked her, they called for her by name. You know, come on, prophetess.
they went to her.
Yes.
They went to her.
Yeah. And say, please, tell us what to do. Come on.
Was a woman.
The king sent them to her.
Right.
And the priest that the king had in his court
Was.
did not rise up against them
Her
going.
being a woman.
Great point.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, her husband was a priest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between a priest and a prophet.
One other point, and as of today, Kennedy is saying that, circumcision was caused, by people taking the Tylenol, and the Tylenol with the circumcision called, autism now. So that's where he is now, and that's the Jewish community as well. This is what I'm saying, he's saying that's the connection for autism, that they should not be circumcised.
Now, he is,
See,
for all practical purpose, as we would see them, as a person giving out false information.
there you go.
Okay? Fake information.
Fake
He has no background. He does not know what he's talking
No
about.
background.
Research. Even for the president to declare that on this next Wednesday, that those men and women who are in the military to defend this country will not be paid.
will not be paid.
There is a scripture, I forgot now which one it is, which which simply says that for every man that you work, pay him. Pay him. Yeah, you got to pay. You're supposed to pay him. If you work somebody, pay him. That's the right thing to do. All right, what else jumping down? Come on, y'all. Anybody?
Walk the talk. We talk a good game, but we don't walk it.
Right.
You know, we are religion, and Christianity is not a religion; it's a way of life.
And that others are supposed to see
how
in
we
you
live.
what you say about your God. Okay? How I treat fellow man. And then they name them. How I take care of the children. How I take care of old people.
Oh, that's right.
You know, one of the things that we saw when we went to Ghana was their whole appreciation for aging, for the aging process. Okay? Me and B looked up, we were on the front row at this school, at the church, on the front row. And they kept asking us, you may go here, you may sit here. But on the front row was nothing but old people.
Not old people,
What?
elders.
That's what I
Words, right.
That's what I see. Okay? But it was amazing. Okay? How they treat you. Okay, come on. Anybody else? Anybody else in the contract? Come on.
I think that we all, you know, when you come into this church, come into the sanctuary, that just does not make, what I say, holy, if you have, follow my, been obedient.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it starts even like, at a young age. Because a lot of that is taught, and a lot of it wasn't that it was wrong for them. That's something that they believed in.
And it was a wrong
It was
belief.
a wrong right. They come in the church. I mean, because our parents, you know, even though they told us what was right, you know, see, do as I say,
And not
and
as
not as I do.
It was interesting to me when I looked in the delegation of folks I went to the hockey game with. This woman had a 5-month-old baby. And they waited. This was the first game of the new hockey season. They couldn't wait. They were upset because they had to watch the baby now 5 months old. For 4 or 5 months before the baby could go to the first hockey game. This baby don't know nothing about it. She got no pampers. She's 5 months old.
But that's what you're right.
But then they had another one over there that was 6 or 7 years old. He's a little fellow like kindergarten, first grade, or whatever. And he got the jerseys on, he got the hats on, he's flagging the whole 9 yards because they want him to be a knight. Okay, to love hockey and the way that they did. And they really did. I mean, they were so. They made a goal. They were behind. They finally tied the game. You know, we tied 5-5 and the whole 9 yards. And then they made 6. The Knights did. They got 6-5. They went ahead of Los Angeles. And when they did that, the men just took off took off their caps and threw them out on the floor. We got about a couple of 100 caps in a few minutes. They just took the caps and threw them out on the floor. But the people, they had about 20, 25 folks on ice skates with buckets, and they shot out on the floor to get up all of the caps and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Everybody around me were accustomed to it. They go to hockey all the time.
Let me ask one question though.
Okay.
So Jeremiah was never married.
I don't know.
That's all.
Nothing in the scripture so far talks about his family.
The reason why I was thinking is that everybody in that, except the person name you called, he was the only other one that Josiah was the only other one that knew of everybody's wrongdoing, and he was telling them. But from my understanding, Jeremiah was never married, and God said that he be married because everybody in that arena or in that area was, they would be punished because they were going to do what he said Jeremiah told him to do.
Now,
But I don't know, just.
and I really don't know, I don't know the answer. I know that Jeremiah has to do some suffering later on. At this point, he has not had to really suffer. But the message that was given to him by God is that, oh yeah, you're going to get in some trouble. I have him prophesied on my behalf. But I'm going to be there with you. And if they come after you, don't worry about it. I'll be there with you.
Yeah, I got you.
So there is some
That's
limitation.
what I'm talking about, that the sad part, that sad me, about Jeremiah and all of this throughout, is that he was never married, and if I'm not mistaken, God told him he would not be able to marry.
Okay.
Yeah, but I said,
That's what it said. The good part about that, even about the marriage or having children, is that my granddad used to talk about orchard. They had an orchard on the plantation where he was raised. And in every orchard, you got two kinds of trees. The fruit tree, the central tree in the orchard, and the shade tree. The fruit tree is going to bear lots of fruit, but there are some fruits, some trees that have to grow up from the other stuff that happens in the world. Okay, so the shade tree might not drop no pecans on the ground, but if it were not for the shade tree, then the other trees underneath it would not have grown. So Granddad used to always say that you know, you it's wonderful if you have a child, if you don't just raise somebody else's. You know? And that's what he was saying to Jeremiah. Go tell my people, I can take care of them. I can do what I can provide in it. But at this point, they have disobeyed. Okay? And they did it, and their ancestors did it.
did I read that he was what's the difference of true prophet? What, I mean,
Like prophets were one of two cases. Either they were a good prophet,
that's
according
what,
to the
so
people,
that's,
or they were a bad prophet,
okay.
according to the people. A good prophet made things good for the people, as long as they worship God.
And
A bad prophet made it difficult and hard to worship God. The way that the true prophet said that they should worship.
right. Okay.
That was it.
And that's still today.
Yeah. Good morning, brother.
You better know who you follow.
Yeah. All right. Give me, anybody got any closing comments? Anybody? Come on.
Jeremiah's message was about true worship versus empty religion.
Yes.
True worship.
That true worship is giving thanks to God for what He has done for you already. And everybody starting point is with you, not you and me. Okay? The starting point for this obedience and this forgiveness and the blessing of God comes from you first.
But everybody that comes to church is not about true worship.
No.
They
It's
come here for different purposes.
for different reasons. But
Some people come here, that's right. They come to be seen, some come to give money, some come not to, I mean, this is the call, some, I mean, all
There's
these.
something raised.
Yeah. But it was also true in that
And
day,
that day,
which is why Josiah had to go in, and which is why Jeremiah had to go. Okay. Good morning, y'all. How we doing? Good. All right. Now, all right. So rounding up the lesson. Any last thoughts? Anybody?
very good, very good.
But teacher,
That's,
Yes, sir.
God is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. People are the same spirit, the same ideas, the same ideologies. But people in the Bible days are now. It hasn't changed.
Exactly. The challenges are the same,
Right.
but the answer to the challenges is also the same.
Also the same.
It's also the same.
Same
You
thing.
sit around and we talk about the people and all of that. But the challenge is up to us. It really, really is. Then you got someone? Okay. That's it there.
good lesson.
Thank you, Tammy.
Very good. Yeah.
All right, with that, we have, we got this one.
Lord bless this offering and taken on behalf of Sunday School, that we may enrich our lives and to go forth and pray. Amen.
Last word, the life we live is a gift from God. What you do with that life is your